Recording started.
All right, so I don't know why that's there. That's interesting. Okay, I think. Hold on. Okay, we'll see how this does. Sorry, I'm recording with this other thing as well, and for some reason it's not acting right. All right, well, welcome everybody. Looks like we had a bunch more join us just over the little bit. But let me just kind of go over a couple things here. One, as I said before, I won't be holding class every week. I actually said I probably wouldn't hold one today, but I got a whole bunch of new students in the class starting this week, and Monday was the holiday, so I just kind of wanted to get out here, kind of share the class with everybody, and then let you guys at it. So we're not going to go over too much today, but we will get to a couple things, okay? So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to screen share real quick. All right, if you can see my screen, will you give me a check mark, a green check real quick? Let's see my screen. All right, at least a couple of you can out there, very good. So this is in your course, okay? So if you go inside your course and you go to the home page, you're going to have the announcements right here. And this is where I post all of the videos that we are going to, the recordings that I have, okay? So here's the recording of our last lesson, okay? And here's just kind of a welcome announcement right there, okay? So that is where you find that. If you go and you click on plan, that's going to be what is going to be coming due, okay? So as you can see, Module 1, everything in Module 1, all the videos and quizzes should have been done on Friday. I did zero those out this week. If you didn't get it done, it's okay. You can always go back, redo them, get the score that you want. And remember, I let you do them as many times as you want to get the score you want. Monday was no school. On today, you should be done with most of Module 2. And I'll show you where to get that in a second. Module 3 is Friday. Module 4 is Friday. Or Module 4 is Monday. So basically Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you will have something. So let me just go to the other thing. If you go to content, this is where you're going to find your material. Okay, so if you can see right here, Unit 1 and Module 1. Okay, so in Module 1 right here, this is what you should already have done. You should have clicked on this. You click on it, it will have a nice little video that a Dixie State University student made, and then we have a quiz about it, okay? Video 2, same thing, okay? Video 3. So that is your Module 1. Module 2 is right here. Video 4, quiz. Video 5, quiz. Okay, and that's what you should have done today, and by the end of the week, you should get these done right here. Okay, and that's basically the class. It's just going through all of those different aspects. So, knowing that, what you need to do, and it's self-paced as well, you just have to keep just the minimum pace of the block. So you can finish this class as fast as you want. If you need more time or something like that, we can work on that too. So, any questions in regards to all that? And I'll get back to our little slide. If you have questions, put them in the chat of what you're supposed to do in the class. And as I told you before, I've had students that finish this course like in 2 weeks. They just spend a whole bunch of time, really knock through it. They get it done. The quizzes are self-grading. Man, you guys are quiet out there. You guys still live? Hopefully. You still hear me? Someone? All right. Okay, let's, without further ado, I guess, let's go and start with some of the things. Yes, you're alive. That's good. Barely. Well, hopefully you're feeling better. And this will be fairly a short lesson as we're coming up here. Because what we're going to talk about the next module or so. so we're going to be talking about that, but like next week we probably won't have a lesson. Oh, I failed to mention as well, every Friday from 2 to 3, you can come for a help session, okay? And so I'm probably going to have a whole bunch of you guys come if you're not getting your quizzes done, and then we can sit down and go over some quizzes and stuff like that together. Okay, so if you want to, every Friday from 2 to 3, it should be on your schedule there. All right, okay, so we're going to talk about what's called trade-offs and opportunity cost. And as we kind of go over those. So a trade-off, okay? So a trade-off is, because we can't do everything we want to in life, and I like to do a lot of things. I want to learn a whole bunch of things. I want to travel to a whole bunch of places, but I can't do it all because I lack resources and I lack time, okay? So I have to trade off for one thing for another. Okay, we had a question in the chat here. How many attempts on quizzes? It's as many as you'd like, okay? So they are put as many as you like. So watch the video, or even do this. If you want to go through the quiz, kind of see what's going to be on it, then go back and watch the video and listen for the answers to the quiz. That may be a good way for you to do it as well, okay? So I like how you put that infinite sign, Rylan, down the chat. Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to talk about trade-offs. So for example, to get education, which we'll talk about some education as we're going through here, about if you go to school and get a degree, you're probably going to make $10,000, $15,000 more than a year than somebody that graduated with just a high school diploma. Okay, that's a trade-off. You have to spend money. You have to spend time as you're going to school. And it takes effort, right? And you're able to do that. So somebody said trade on things for another. Correct, yep. So you're either spending your time or physically, right? So sometimes it's a physical thing. Sometimes it's a mental or stress-related thing. Because I remember when I went to school, I had to go to night school. I worked all day, went to night school, and my wife wasn't too happy about that, right? So it caused some stress in our relationship. So there's a lot of things that kind of you have to trade off as you're looking at things like that. So somebody said, while holding Alt-Tab. Oh, that's how you get the infinite sign. Fantastic. Cool. I didn't know that. Somebody's a lot better at computers than I am. All right, so often people think of opportunity cost in things of dollars, okay, in terms of dollars. But it's not just dollars. Economists, okay, that's people that study how money works and flows throughout businesses and people and that kind of stuff. They said it's more often a price tag on goods and services and other things, okay? And so let's think about it. Yep, so time, right? I like that, Nathan. So think about goals that you may have. Does anybody know what they want to be when they get a full-time job? Maybe somebody put that in the chat real quick. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking? What would you like to be? Nobody? You don't want to be anything? I've had some people and they want to be game developers, right? They want to create the video games. Not sure? Okay. All right. I had some people that want to be nurses. It all takes time, money, energy, all that kind of stuff to learn that skill or that trade in order to be successful there, right? Okay. And so that's a trade-off that you have to have. Okay. Okay, I want to be a dentist. Very good. Okay. So you're going to have to learn. You're going to have to go to school, learn about the human teeth, right? You're going to have to touch people's mouths. I don't know if you can do that or not. I don't want to touch other people's mouths. They have gloves on, right? But same thing. Okay, somebody said an artist, all right? So being an artist, like, you have to think, you know, outside the box, how you want things to look, and then how to make money off your art. So there's a lot of things that you'll have to look at, all right? Okay, so as we're doing that, we can take these kind of steps, okay? So 1, it says, catch your vision for your life, okay? So you don't want to have to do something that you kind of fall into, right? You would rather have the freedom to choose what you would like to do, rather than somebody say, this is a job that you're going to do. Luckily, we live in a place where we can choose, right? We don't get assigned, here's your job. You're going to be a garbage collector or something, you know? You get to actually choose what you want, and you get to find out your likes. You got to find out your abilities and be able to do that. So somebody said, that's why I'm going to all the way up to a PhD. Fantastic, yeah. I mean, so if you know what you like, and you know what you want to do, and you have your dreams, you can become it. And so looking at it, but it does take effort, work, what Angela Duckworth, she's a researcher, calls grit. Okay, being able to push through those times that really just aren't very fun, right? Like night school, I did not think night school was fun, right? I went there, I was tired, they were teaching us stuff, and then we had to do it, and it was not very fun. Okay, number 2. As you're doing that, you need to evaluate what your financial health is, okay? So it's different than like your physical health, but your financial health. Okay, I'm going to look at the chat real quick. So somebody said, I'd like several PhDs just to increase. That would be hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yep. Probably even $1 million. Yeah, so that's where we got to look at evaluate your financial health, right? So for example, if you were to go into a career, you got to make sure you make enough money in that career to be able to afford to pay for the college and the schooling that you did. So there's many ways you can get, there's scholarships you can get. So if you can get out of college and not have to, and be debt free, I wasn't even able to do that. I had probably like $10,000-$12,000 after I finished, but I was able to pay that off after a while. But a lot of people can't do that, right? They can't. So make sure you're going to make enough money that it's going to be worth it, right? So you got to look at that. You also got to look at that you have a place to live during this time. And that's why you kind of have that you go to school in your younger years if you can, because once you start possibly having a family or whatever, there's a lot more to provide there, and it's harder to go back to school when you're older. So somebody said, sure, get a scholarship and become a doctor. Yeah. If you can get scholarships, and there's all different kinds of scholarships, not just academic for being, super smart, but there's ones out there for ethnicity and for just all kinds of scholarships. You can write papers for scholarships and just get a bunch of money. And I got some scholarships going through school, and that's one of the things I did. I looked at also other financial aid things as well. You find my lack of faith? Oh, that's a quote? Okay. I don't know what you're exactly saying there. Does a full scholarship count for the whole time you're in college? It depends. Well, usually it's till you get a certain degree. So a lot of times master's and doctorate degrees are not paid for. But there's things that, like, if you were to go into the military, that's one of the reasons a lot of people go in the military, is so they can get the federal funding to pay for their schooling. So, I know some doctors, what they do is after they get admitted to medical school, then they sign up for the military, and then they have to have 4 years in the military after they're done, and it pays for all their doctor schooling, okay? Which is hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, as you kind of talked about before. Okay, so step 3, they talk about defining your goals, okay? So being able to define it, find out how much it costs. Cost analysis is kind of what it's talking about. Find what obstacles you have, if there's certain tests you have to take, if there's certain courses that you need to complete. And sometimes we go and we hit roadblocks. Like there was a certificate I was looking at getting, and they have a really, really hard test at the end of it. And they had something that cost a lot of time. They wanted like 1,500 hours, intern hours. And with having a family, I couldn't get all of those hours in the time frame that they wanted, so I was unable to complete the program because of that. So that's something you want to kind of look at as you're going through there. And then last one here is develop an action plan, okay? So come up with a goal of when you're going to accomplish this by. Find something that's flexible, because as I said before, it kind of change your position, okay? Like, as I said before, I was looking to become like this behavior analyst. Went through all the most of the coursework, I had quite a few of the hours. The test was burdensome and costly. The other things were really hard, and it just didn't work out with my situation, so I had to take a different path, okay? Make sure you're also kind of protecting yourself when you're going through these areas, because there's some places that will just take your money, right? I would even say like universities or some colleges. There's some private colleges that I remember going in and sitting with a college. I won't say what it was. But they said, oh, you can get your business degree in 18 months. And I said, okay, that's fine. And they said, but we want to take all of the money for the whole entire program up front and do it a student loan on it. And I was like, no, thank you. Because they wanted like something like $30,000 for it. And so you got to make sure everything works out right for you. Some things can be written off as well on taxes. So think about that as well. And there's financial aid as well that you can look at. We'll be FAFSA is one of the things that you'll learn in your videos and stuff moving forward. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, that ends us to the very end. So that just kind of shows a little bit of what will happen on the next couple modules, what you'll be going over. Remember, the course is self-paced, but you have to keep a certain speed in the class. If you're getting behind, you're going to get a lot of messages from me, text messages inviting to that kind of thing like that. Other than that, that is all we have for class today. So I'll stop the recording here, but if you have any questions, I'll be sticking around for a while to answer those. There is no exit ticket. Your exit ticket really is just go into the course, start watching the videos, and take the quizzes, because that's what you're graded on. Okay? All right. Thanks, everybody.
Recording.